Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to do a bit of an update of the AFL SuperCoach side. So I guess, we're sort of pretty well in the pre-season. I think the sort of, I don't think they call them trial games in AFL. What's it, pre-season matches? Are going to kick off in the next week or two. So we'll start getting some more SuperCoach data filtering in and getting a look at the players that we're interested in. But I guess just to try and be a little bit different, a little bit contrarian, I'm trying to look at a slightly different approach to the team at the moment. It's not to say I won't cower and revert to sort of similar to what a lot of people are doing, but I thought we'll give it a go, have a look at the option and get some thoughts on what you think about it. So if I jump in the team, I guess the big theme is going big at the back. So previously I've sort of had, a lot cheaper backline. I think the last video might have had Sicily as my D1 at 520 odd K. But like I said, I've thought about going a bit bigger at the back. So probably the three keepers with Sheasel, Ryan, Sinclair. Partly, there's a lot of talk about Fremantle, St Kilda have the most favourable bye schedule. So trying to find opportunities to bring those guys in early makes sense. And I thought, well, let's lock him in from the start, because I guess Ryan and Sinclair would definitely be high on the list of players from those teams you'd want to target. And then the more I sort of look at Harry Sheasel, the more I'm scared of starting without him. He's very popular. I think he's over 50% ownership. And if he's, as good as we think he can be, don't want to miss the boat on that. In saying that, I still like the value of the two Swans guys. And I guess with this team, I have been a little bit more mindful as well around that round 3 bye that Sydney, Brisbane, I think it's Collingwood and Geelong all have. But I think I can still make it work with these two generating cash. I guess previously a few people have had Coleman as well. Sounds like he's going to miss round 0. Could be right for actual round 1. But because of that, we get to see round 1 and 2 before they're bye in round 3. And then if he looks like he's a must get, we can bring him in after their bye. So happy to fade Coleman to start, but I do like the potential value that these guys offer. I guess if we need to make some money to fix this team up, it's probably going to be Roberts. But we could also, again, fade a keeper defender and use that cash. The cheapies, we've still got Al Hooley, Travalia, Buslinger and Allen sort of sitting in our midfield, so a little bit of flexibility there is nice. But again, we'll wait and see closer to the time. The midfield I don't think has actually changed really. Brayshaw at M1, bit of an undervalued. Uber Premium is the hope. Newcomb, excited to see how he'll progress this year. Oliver, I think, pretty much everyone's getting him. Ashcroft, again, is, that mid-price option with the round 3 buy. But we're going to gamble that, the cash that he makes is worth maybe, like between him and Roberts, we have another keeper. And, then you'd obviously have to have another cheapie to go with. So we're making the gamble that their value will equate to having, one gun and one rookie on the field for that round 3 buy. Peatling, I think a lot of people are keen on at that price, given his job security or seeming job security. Smith, Ashcroft have probably been in a lot of people's teams. Nevitt is one that's come in, I think, in my midfield, as I reveal the rest of the team a little bit early, but that's fine. Sounds like he's going to get a bit of a role there at Geelong. But again, here's another one that's on the buy. I think you can go as many cheapies on that buy as you want, because obviously they'll just be replaced by the cheapies. But you do need to be mindful of those guns. So I've got the 3 at the moment with Roberts, Mills, Ashcroft. 4 actually Bailey Smith as well will be on that bye. But I think we can cover well enough with the remaining squad to do the job. On the bench, Kako, Hewitt, both in the forwards, because as you can see, I've also gone big in the forward line. So, pretty much Horne-Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, very popular. A lot of people keen on Isaac Rankin too. And so I guess, if you have him and then probably Philippou when he's back from his injury, and he gets back in the midfield, as he was sort of projected to in the preseason, that would be your 6 forwards. So the way I'm looking at it is we've got, 3 locks in defence, with a couple that are easy enough to get to another keeper if we need to. We're hoping they get closer to the 2 keepers quite easily with maybe 1 or 2 cheapies. But yeah, in the forward line, we can very easily get to that 6. And, we're hoping that all these sort of cheap forwards we've got will build up enough to basically get straight to Philippou. So the clear sacrifice in this team to make that happen is in the rucks. So I've kept Cherry, I think, a bit like Sheasel, a bit too scared to go without to start the season. I have moved Flynn into R2, sorry. So did have him in my flex, but I figured, well, to make this strategy work, paying up a bit more in the forward line and the defence, the money had to come from somewhere, so it's come from the ruck. So I had Max Gawn, and I think, Gawn's still a great option, but I guess a few people talking about his age have scared me off a little bit. So I thought I'll go a bit experimental here. I've gone Flynn at R2, but then I've also gone Boyd as the flex. So, we had him on the bench because he's probably a playing sort of ruck. But, if he actually plays with Marshall out injured, he could be a good scorer on field. So I guess, not really sort of knowing how the flex play is going to work out, I thought this might be that crazy sort of risk that you hope comes off. So that's what I'm thinking is the flex is perfect for someone like that. I've put Sims as the bench cover because of the dual position. So obviously, if it doesn't work out, we can slide Boyd back up to R3, and push one of the forwards, whether it's Barry or it's one of the midfield forwards, into the flex. All right, to make that happen. Obviously, as well, I do have Patton, I don't know how you pronounce that, as a defender forward. So there's a bit more flexibility too in terms of, it could be a Travalia ends up with the duels in the flex. So that's one of the reasons why I've got of Patton. Also, it sounds like he could play off halfback, which is usually pretty nice for SuperCoach. So again, he's on that round 3 bye, but I think the cheapness sort of cancels out because you can play any other cheapie in that position. But also the fact he is defender dual opens up a lot of possibilities for this flex. So yeah, that's the thoughts on the team. Obviously strong up front and down back, potentially a bit weak in the midfield, but we've got a lot of value picks. And obviously the cheapies that we're banking on making a lot of cash and points. And like I said, going experimental with the rucks just to see if we can game this flex somehow. So yeah, that's the team. A quick pump up for the leagues. I only got 3 spots left in the head-to-head league, so it would be great to have that filled out. The league code there you can see 142767. I'll put this link in the description below the video. The overall league doesn't seem as popular, but you can join both. So if you've joined the head-to-head league, and you can also include the join in the overall league, or if you're just more interested in trying to win the 50k or whatever prize money it is this year, you can join in this and then obviously focus on your overall score rather than trying to win a head-to-head matchup every week. So that league code's there. Again, description will be below this video. But we'll wrap the video up there. As I said, there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge in the preseason, but yeah, just trying something different. So happy to know your thoughts. If you've got any other comments, questions, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the AFL SuperCoach content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.